Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and we're back again with another committee meeting on 20th century jobs in the 21st century. My concern continues to be that we're propping up states that are addicted to oil jobs that haven't diversified their economies like Florida has, and the whole world's barreling towards another climate change crisis. And there was a time in our country when we embraced the future, like solar and wind and hydroelectric, biofuels and nuclear, and right now it just feels like we're being dragged to the past again. You know, in Florida we have a tourism and agriculture economy, and no one would ever confuse a Florida beach for beaches in some other states, that's for sure. But yet we still suffered from this tragic Deepwater Horizon disaster that cost us billions and billions of dollars. I want to compliment Secretary Zinke for agreeing in his last hearing that the 125-mile buffer around our state until 2022 is not in jeopardy, and we just received a letter from the Department of the Air Force that said, I quote from General David L. Goldfein, "The moratorium is essential for developing and sustaining the Air Force's future combat capabilities. Although the Gulf of Mexico Energy Security Act's moratorium does not expire until 2022, the Air Force needs the certainty of the proposed extension to guarantee long-term capability for future tests." Ms. McGregor, is there any additional comments based upon the Air Force's letter supporting the moratorium in the Gulf around our state subsequent to this letter being sent out?
Absolutely. Obviously, that moratorium was put in place by statute by the United States Congress under the Gulf of Mexico Energy Security Act. So I believe that statute has that area expiring from moratorium in 2022.
But is there any additional information on consideration of extending the moratorium based upon the Air Force's letter?
Sorry, the decision to extend the moratorium will ultimately need to be approved and put into legislation by Congress.
There was a June 30th, 2017 letter that was sent by my colleague, Congressman Beyer, along with over 100 members of Congress, 10 Republicans, 11 Democrats from my state. That's a pretty large group of members opposing any seismic testing on the Atlantic coast. Ms. McGregor, have you received any letters of support from members of Congress to have seismic testing on the Atlantic coast?
I'm not familiar with these letters, but I'm more than happy to take a look at what letters have come into the department and get back to you on that.
There's over $95 billion worth of GDP on the Atlantic coast economies, according to the letter, and 1.4 million jobs associated with it, and they'd face seismic air gun blasting every 10 seconds, 24 hours a day in the areas that would be under siege under any potential opening, which could result in a 78% decline in reef fish, 138,000 estimated deaths of whales and dolphins. So I wanted to hear from Ms. Howell about how would it affect, do you think, the tourism, fishing, and beaches and other aspects if we had that kind of decline?
Yeah, thank you very much, Congressman. There are a couple of points about seismic that I think need to be clarified. The first one is, as you pointed out, there have been scientific peer-reviewed studies that have come out in recent years demonstrating that not only is there harm, 78% reef fish decline as a result of seismic testing, but a very recent study that just came out that zooplankton, which is the basis of our food chain, our marine food web, is killed at a distance of almost 3/4 of a mile away, which is further than previously thought. The reference that Ms. McGregor made a little bit ago to the chief scientist's letter from BOEM saying that seismic was safe was issued in 2014.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate it, but my time is running out. I do want to also express a great concern. We have the busiest spaceport in the world, at the Cape in the district next to mine, and seismic testing could put this into jeopardy as well. Those are thousands and thousands and thousands of high-tech jobs representing the future of our economy. So I think it's noteworthy for this committee that over 100 members of Congress have opposed the Atlantic seismic drilling, and we've yet to hear one support it.
I thank